Kak sep tuong min dang yu. Ten lai di. Nuoi kak sep goi la, tri ky, tuk chat chila con tin trong motvu bat kok tom ly dahan. Ne den koi video de lot tran su that, hok vin vien song keep ky sin tam hai. De bao geo kak sep nam kan mot nuoi, hoyam qua ho ko sat ben de thit, tiang do qua ho du dan ben tai, and hung sao tam trong long guk kak sep lai moti ho den trong rong va lan tot tot du chua. Kak sep tuong min dang yu dam dui. Kak sep xam 10 now, the non hen bien, di vang troi ve tsai goi la, tin yu dik tuk, hey, su gon ket lin han, kong the chiel ya. Thoi di, bot moi mom lai va nin tang veo vung bun dui chan min di. Toi sap boc tran mot su that ton kok, mot not dao dam tang veo tsai vo boc houn hoang ma kak sep dang ko dap len moi gay. Chin muoi fan tram and hung Thursday kak sep dang don nan la, tin on m, hey, tri ky, nagwai kia, tuk chat chila emotilop fan sun lo lot, che de cho emotigwang mat bien dang v noi so high. Dulot noi so kin hong kai fi doi dien voi chin min. Kak sep kong hiu ho nu kak sep huin hok ban nan. Kak sep chi dang bam viu lei ho nu en hung kuchet dui kao kot mot tsai fail, chi de kong fi chim and gim trong tsai de ho tam toi kwa chin tom tri min. Nu en hung loi nai dang lam kak sep gai oc noi len, lam tsai toi kwa kak sep sung te va muon chui the, ti tuet voi, kak sep de den dung noi roi. Truok kai chung tum o xe tip tsai koi u tom ly nai, hey and nai veo nut dang ky ken va bat chuang thong bao di. Dung de tsai toi yuhan non kan kak sep neutron su that night, hey ung ho de ken ko dong luk tung ra and hung don tuk ten nak nuoi han nua trong tuong lai. Lu vuong travok 05 men chow kui 6 va kak ban, chow mung kak sep byuk veo the gioi kwa and hung su. That tran trui not. Got he lot bo het lot mong lok jia tau dita thay rang kai nim, tinu, trong tsai thoi dai dien ro nai dang by tau tung emoti catch by oi ton emoti lo I thwak jiam dao lu chow. Kak sep lao veo kak moi quan he emoti catch quang lon, quet tinder den mon ca van te, rai thin dam ba tsai moi quan he mapamo jua luk nua dem nua hum. Kak sep lam the v tran trong doi fuang a. Kong he. Kak sep chi dang vat va kao kot mot su fan tom. Mot con nuoi bang suang bang fit, hey tam chi chi la mot tsai bong bong chat nap nai vo han tren mon hin dien thoi, tat ca du by loi ra lam tam keen thit de che chan cho ban and koi su tan song qua mot Thursday ton nan not tren koi doi nai, su tin lang. Siu nam mat lai va tuong zem, mot bui toi koi tuan, Wi-Fi na kak sep dut ngot lon ra hio, dien thoi ti sap ongwan den gong. Kong ko nuoi u de vui dao veo, kong ko tang ban now ran roi de rud now net, kong ko tiang zap shin chat chua qua bar pub, kong chong ko tsai mon hin now de vut ve. Bon bi sung quan chi ko kak sep, bon buk tuong kam lang, va moti su im lang chet chok dac quan lai. Kam jiak luk du the now. Tim mat chua. Sai kam jiak bon chan, but rut nu ko non con kien kan rut tan trong suang tai bat dao troi len gao that. Kak sep sed lai vong quan nu en hung con Thursday hong by not trong long sat, engwa nai te chan, dao oc que quang dao dien chi muon vo lay mot tsai gi du, bat cu Thursday rac roi gi kung duok. Min la net duok veo neo de lap lim di tsai koang trong dang hamong chuk cho nut chung min. Du kong fi la su nam chan dao on m, du chin la tiang goi tu vo tuk, tu tsai ban na chan that rimao ma kak sep de dung du moi loi tiang on qua xa hoi nai de denen, chan vui sut hung. Chuk nam qua. Kak sep so hai tsai can find goi lai tiro troi voi chin min, v tan sao ben trong, kak sep beat qua ro dang sao tsai vo boc houn hoang, dang sao tsai mak ton datan to noi lon, hates I profile bong lan doak to vek tsang tren mang xa hoi kia, chi la emot mo han don tam hai. Lion hung vet thuang chua bao geo doak bangbua, lion hung noi tu ti jiao kin dui de vuk, lot sai ban chat u dui ma kak sep kong bao geo dam mo ming thua nan. Vik lin tuc tim kim motai duo ben kan, ruk dao veo en hung dam dong on au tuk chat chi la mot kuok che tron han not den kung cuc. Kak sep the dot sach thoi john, nem tien qua so, the kan rang the nuoi kok bon rut kan kiet nong luong song qua min, con han la fi doi mat voitsai su that tran trui dang lulu dung jua kan fong tom tri. Kak septa han den muc dung sin men va cam suk qua nuoi kok nu mot tsai tsong cu ri tien den a tran chin ban then min, roi lai koak len no tsai mai tu, tinu. That la bo qua nu koi va by ai. But the tragedy doesn't just stop at this cowardly evasion, it morphs into a parasitic feeding frenzy that devours both you and the person you claim to cherish. Welcome to the era of romanticized codependency, a time where emotional vampirism is packaged and sold as epic romance. You look deep into your partner's eyes and utter the most toxic phrase ever popularized by Hollywood, "You complete me." Society claps. Pop music writes anthems about it. But let me brutally translate what that actually means in the real world. I am a fractured, empty shell of a human being, and I am making it your permanent, full-time job to keep me from falling apart. That is not love, bosses. That is a psychological hostage situation. You are taking a massive, suffocating burden, the responsibility for your own happiness and mental stability, and dumping it squarely onto the shoulders of someone else. You expect them to be your lover, your therapist, your endless source of entertainment, and your spiritual savior all rolled into one. Think about how deeply selfish that is. You are not treating them like an independent human being with their own struggles, dreams, and exhaustion. You are treating them like a human band-aid, slapped hastily over a gaping, infected wound in your soul. And what happens when two people approach a relationship with this exact same deficit mindset? You do not get a union of two whole individuals. You get two starving beggars desperately holding out empty bowls to each other, both furious that the other has nothing of substance to give. It becomes an exhausting transaction. You text them not to see how their day is going, but to get your quick dopamine hit of validation. You demand their time not out of a desire to share life, but because if they are not looking at you, affirming you, and validating your existence, you feel like you are disappearing into nothingness. This parasitic dynamic breeds intense jealousy and absolute control, which you conveniently relabel as being protective or caring too much. You panic when they ask for space. You start arguments when they want to spend an evening alone or with their friends. Why? Because their independence threatens your survival mechanism. If they can be happy without you, the illusion shatters. You realize that you are not the center of the universe, and worse, you are left alone with the deafening silence we talked about earlier. So, you clip their wings. You guilt-trip them. You manipulate the narrative to ensure they stay tethered to your emotional dysfunction. You drain their energy, their ambition, and their individuality, sucking them dry just to keep your own artificial life support system running for one more day. The Yuglish truth is that you do not love their soul, you are merely addicted to the temporary relief they provide. You are a junkie, and they happen to be your drug of choice. But like any heavy addiction, your tolerance builds, the highs become shorter, and the inevitable crash comes rushing toward you at breakneck speed. When you build a sanctuary on a foundation of emotional quicksand, it is only a matter of time before the entire structure collapses and buries you alive under the weight of your own deceit. The honeymoon phase always expires, without exception. The chaotic cocktail of infatuation, lust, and novelty that kept your demons temporarily sedated begins to wear off. The drug loses its potency. The person who used to be your flawless escape hatch suddenly becomes irritating. Their quirks turn into flaws, their voice, which once soothed your anxiety, now grates on your nerves. Why does this happen? Because human beings are not infinite resources of perfection. They get tired. They get stressed. They have their own underlying traumas and dark days. When your partner eventually fails to perform the impossible task of keeping you happy 24/7, the illusion cracks. The black hole in your chest, which you thought you had securely boarded up, violently rips open again, and the cold draft of reality comes rushing back in. This is the breaking point. This is where the toxic cycle reaches its most destructive crescendo. Because you refuse to take accountability for your own internal void, you turn your partner into the villain. You convince yourself that they changed, that they stopped trying, or that they simply aren't the right one after all. Resentment breeds like mold in a dark, damp room. The screaming matches start. The silent treatments stretch for days. You are no longer fighting about who left the dishes in the sink or who forgot to reply to a text. You are fighting because they are no longer an effective anesthetic for your pain. They failed their job as your emotional crutch, and you are terrified. So, what do? You bail. Or worse, you stay and cheat, frantically seeking a new, shiny distraction to patch the leak. You jump back into the dating pool before the metaphorical sheets are even cold. You swipe right, you hit the bars, you drink until your vision blurs, you work 80-hour weeks, or you numb yourself with endless hours of mindless scrolling and video games. You accelerate the treadmill of distractions to a dangerous, unsustainable speed. But the tragic joke is on you. No matter how fast you run, no matter how many bodies you lay next to, no matter how many external achievements you stack up to make your ego look towering, the void is always one step ahead. It waits for you in the quiet moments of your morning commute. It sits on the edge of your bed at 3 a.m. when the alcohol wears off. The ultimate crash is unavoidable. Eventually, the distractions stop working entirely. The noise of the world cannot drown out the agonizing screams of your neglected soul. You hit a wall of absolute burnout, where neither other people nor artificial stimulants can offer you a single drop of relief. Hitting absolute rock bottom isn't the tragic end of your story, it is the brutal, agonizing, but profoundly necessary initiation into the darkest, most terrifying room of your own mind. This is the phase of the journey where the boys are separated from the men, where the cowards run and the warriors stay. When the distractions are stripped away and you are finally forced into the corner by your own reality, you have to face the agony of true solitude. I am not talking about a peaceful Sunday afternoon reading a book with a cup of coffee. I am talking about a visceral, soul-crushing isolation. I am talking about sitting completely alone in an empty room, stripped of your phone, your relationships, your ego, and your coping mechanisms. It is a spiritual surgery performed entirely without anesthesia. When you first enter this space, your brain will scream. You will experience literal withdrawal symptoms. Your hands will shake as you reach for a phone that isn't there. Your chest will tighten, and panic will seize your throat. The silence will not feel peaceful, it will feel like a physical assault. Because in this heavy, uninterrupted silence, every single demon you have spent a lifetime outrunning finally catches up to you. They pull up chairs and sit right in front of you. You will be forced to look at the terrified, unhealed inner child that you abandoned decades ago. You will have to replay every mistake, every moment of cowardice, every time you used someone, and every time you betrayed your own core values just to fit in. You will feel the full, crushing weight of your insecurities, your deep-seated belief that you are not enough, and your overwhelming fear of rejection. It hurts like absolute hell. You will cry tears you didn't know you were holding back. You will want to break the door down, run out into the street, and beg the first person you see to love you just so you don't have to feel this excruciating raw pain for one more second. Your ego will try every trick in the book to convince you to escape. It will tell you that you are going crazy, that you need to call your toxic ex, that you just need one drink to take the edge off. But if you want to actually live, truly live, and not just exist as a reacting zombie, you must hold your ground. You must sit in the fire. You must let it burn. Let the flames of solitude incinerate every fake narrative you have built about yourself. Let it burn away the need for external validation. Let it destroy the pathetic, needy version of you that begs for crumbs of affection. You have to grieve the illusions you worshipped. This pain is not here to destroy you, it is here to purify you. It is the friction required to break the chains of your emotional slavery. If you can survive the scorching flames of your own isolation without running for the nearest exit, you will emerge not as a broken victim, but as a forged weapon of unbreakable, unshakable steel. There comes a morning after the darkest night of your soul when everything shifts. You wake up, you pour your coffee, you sit in the exact same empty room, but the atmosphere has completely changed. The silence is no longer a predator waiting to devour you, it is a warm blanket. It is peace. For the first time in your entire life, you realize that you are okay. You are completely alone, no one is texting you, no one is validating your existence, and yet, you feel entirely whole. You have looked your deepest traumas dead in the eye, you have felt the absolute bottom of your own despair, and you survived. You didn't die. You didn't shatter. You conquered yourself. This is the ultimate liberation. When you reach this level of self-mastery, the entire game of life flips in your favor. You are no longer operating from a place of desperate lack and starvation. You become self-sufficient, generating your own emotional oxygen. You realize that you do not need anyone to complete you, because you are already a 100%, fully realized human being. And here is the beautiful paradox, only when you no longer desperately need someone, do you actually become capable of truly loving someone. When you enter a relationship from this place of absolute internal strength, everything is different. You aren't looking for a savior or a hostage. You aren't scanning the room for someone to patch your bleeding wounds. You are a king looking for an equal. You bring a full, overflowing cup to the table, and you invite someone to share in the abundance. True love is not two drowning people clutching at each other to stay afloat. True love is two strong swimmers choosing to swim side by side because they enjoy the company. If they decide to swim away one day, you won't drown. You will keep swimming, because you know how to navigate your own waters. You can appreciate a partner's beauty, their intellect, and their soul without the frantic, suffocating grip of attachment. You grant them absolute freedom, and in doing so, you experience the truest, purest form of connection possible on this earth. So, bosses, it is time to make a choice. You can click off this content, scoff at the truth, and go right back to your Tinder swipes, your toxic situationships, and your pathetic cycle of emotional running. You can keep applying cheap makeup over a festering wound until it eventually kills your spirit. Or, you can finally man up. You can turn off your phone, close your door, sit in the terrifying silence, and face the person in the mirror. It will be the hardest fight of your life, but the prize on the other side is the only thing actually worth fighting for, absolute, unconditional freedom. The path to everything you have ever wanted doesn't lie in the arms of another person. It lies buried deep within the dark, quiet corners of your own soul. Go dig it up. In the end, the relentless pursuit of external validation and romanticized codependency is nothing more than a coward's retreat from their own unhealed wounds. We live in a society that encourages us to use other people as emotional painkillers, slapping temporary bandages on the gaping voids within our souls. But this parasitic cycle always collapses. The distractions inevitably lose their potency, leaving you stranded in the devastating wreckage of your own avoidance. True liberation demands that you stop running. It requires the raw, agonizing courage to sit in absolute solitude, to face the demons you have ignored for decades, and to let the fires of isolation burn away your needy, fragile ego. Only by surviving this spiritual crucible can you forge an unbreakable inner strength. You must become your own savior, generating your own emotional oxygen, so that you no longer look at relationships as a means of survival, but as an opportunity to share genuine abundance. When you finally learn to stand entirely whole and complete on your own, the game of life permanently changes. You stop taking hostages and start building authentic connections alongside equals. The ultimate prize is not finding someone to complete you, but realizing you were already complete from the start. You cannot find peace, true love, or authentic strength in the arms of another person if you are fundamentally at war with yourself. True connection is physically impossible when operating from a psychological deficit. You must stop viewing relationships as emotional rescue missions. Desperation and neediness destroy love, whereas true self-sufficiency breathes life into it. Your highest duty is to heal your own fractures first. Practice intentional solitude. Carve out at least 30 minutes every single day to sit entirely alone in silence. No phone, no music, no background noise, no distractions. Sit in an empty room and face whatever thoughts, fears, or anxieties arise without running away or reaching for a device. Audit your relationships. Look objectively at how you interact with your partner or friends. Are you reaching out to them to share joy and build a life, or are you extracting their time and energy to soothe your own anxiety? Stop using the people you love as emotional crutches. Cut the cheap dopamine, take a strict hiatus from dating apps, mindless social media scrolling, and toxic situationships. Stop trying to patch the leaks in your soul with quick, meaningless external hits. Commit to the internal work of becoming a fully self-reliant individual. What is the hardest part for you when sitting completely alone in silence with your own thoughts? Please politely share your perspective in the comments section below so we can all read, discuss, and learn from each other's unique journeys. If this message resonated with you and brought value to your life, please hit the subscribe button. Your support is incredibly appreciated and gives this channel the motivation to keep producing powerful, uncompromising content for you in the future.